Hello, everyone. Oh, God, my camera's still zoomed in. We forgot.
Woo!
Oh, guys. Hello. I'm fucking excited for today.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
How's it going, JP?
This is like the Overwatch play of the games right now. The FOV is just all the way in.
Wow.
We're coming to you this way. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Hello. It's time for another Drop Frames without a guest this week because I just didn't make one. I didn't get one.
Well, if you delegated, I'm sure one of us could have found someone.
I didn't even think to delegate. I was so focused. I was like, all right, I got all these fucking graphics.
Well, now that the show is on your channel every week, I think all you have to do now is just say like, all right, it's your week to grab a guest, and if you can, it defaults to you.
Yeah, this is a great. Code is not sure of this rule, but Zeke is. I'm totally on board with this, Zeke. This is fantastic.
Listen, I'm sick of having last minute guests. Like whenever I have a guest, they know.
Also,
like,
Code, turn the camera off because Zeke messed it up. What was that? Because what? I cut you off.
Like if you told me that it was my turn next week, because whenever I have a guest on, they always know like 3 or 4 days out, and they're over prepared.
They are. Danny was very over prepared, but he was a great guest. You're right. Zach was good. Yeah, Zach was good for sure. Yeah, for sure. Zeke, you want to get the guest next week?
I would love to. But I can't.
Are you gone next week?
I'm going to be in Hawaii.
Oh, boo-hoo. What? Why do you have to travel to Hawaii?
So I don't have to get a guest for Drop Frames.
I mean, touche. What?
No. I'm not going to be in Hawaii. I'd love to. Sure, you bet.
Oh, I thought you were actually. I was excited for you.
Nope, I'll figure it out.
I want to go. I've never been to Hawaii before.
Me neither.
You ever been, Co?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He's going to stream every day. He can't take a 12-hour flight.
That's true. It's a long flight. It's a very long flight. Anyways, let's talk about streaming and video games because that's what we talked about here. Overwatch came out. Everyone's playing it. No one wants to talk about it or hear us talk about it because we've talked about it so much on the show. Servers worked well. There was a 10-minute period where everyone thought it was going to be a major fuck up on launch. And then after that, we never had any other issues. There was a couple people that were saying actually that they couldn't stay connected to a game, but I think that got fixed within like an hour.
Dude, I got to say for the size of the release and for how many people were playing the game, one of the smoother launches I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, it's Blizzard, so they're like, what's going on? Money, get the money machine, throw it at it.
Well, I think also too, when you have such a colossal fuck up that was the Diablo 3 launch, you make sure that whatever needs to happen happens on a launch like that. Apparently, I don't know if this was just a joke or something, but someone posted on Reddit that there was a queue to buy the game on launch.
No, I can confirm that because I had to go through it.
Really?
Yep. I actually never bought Overwatch. They kept on giving me beta codes, but I never actually got like a full version code. So I went to buy it. I think that night I was watching you stream actually I think you had just gotten near 20K viewers or something absolutely nuts. And I went to buy it and I got put in a queue for 2 minutes with 70 people in front of me. It went really quick. I mean, it wasn't like a long queue by any means. And this was like at prime time. So
someone was saying now that I read a little bit in that thread, and some people were saying that was DDoS protection.
I believe it.
That's why they have the queue there, is so people can't destroy their servers, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, they've been targeted in the past for sure. So, but yeah, as far as it seems like a really good launch. And the other thing too is that someone pointed out on Metacritic that the user rating, which is historically always bad because everyone with a bad or a negative opinion will go to Metacritic and downvote it and say that is blah blah blah. This had a 98 yesterday on Metacritic on the user rating, which is unheard of.
That's pretty ridiculous.
It seems like they knocked it out of the park, and they're pretty excited that Titan failed because this game's selling very well and it's doing very well for them critically. So I guess congrats to that team. But we've talked about it before. Nothing changed. It's the same exact game as the beta.
Well, let's talk about your marathon. How'd that go?
It went good. I was surprised that I stayed up. We had a countdown on the stream the entire time, and there were pretty much every single except for Winston, which was the final hour. I don't know if that sucked because it was Winston or because it was the final hour, But every hour before that, like I would look over and see the timer counting down, and I'd be like, "There's only 30 minutes left for this." Like, really? It's already been 30 minutes on this fucking. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I never actually looked at what time it was in real life, so I always had like it's 30 minutes till the next hero. So it went really fast.
So they went in order as like the last person you played was the most popular voted.
No, the first person I played was the most popular voted.
So Winston was last.
Winston had like
What?
37 votes and like 6K total
That
votes.
is crazy.
Yeah. They surprised me, dude.
Okay, who was first?
Again, Diva surprised me. Diva was number 1.
Diva was the favorite?
Yeah. And I don't know if that was pandering because like Aurelian was tweeting out like go vote Diva, but she was like really far ahead in that vote.
Wow.
Like I can actually I have the I can just pull up the results rather than just
Streamer
saying.
influencing. It's a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Diva had 565 and Junkrat had 495 at second.
I'm surprised May wasn't like in the top 3.
May was 5.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody loves May.
Yeah. I'll just read it off. Diva, this is favorite to least favorite. Diva, Junkrat, Genji, Tracer, May, McCree, Mercy, Hanzo, Roadhog, Reinhardt, Zenyatta, Reaper, Widowmaker, Pharah, Lucio, Soldier, Zarya, Torbjorn, Symmetra, Bastion, Winston.
Oh, Bastion got shit on.
Dude, the worst.
That's
The
great,
final
That's
4
great, though.
hours. The final 4 hours. Torbjorn, Symmetra, Bastion,
Yep.
Winston.
Turret, and Winston.
The thing is, Symmetra is now like one of my favorite heroes after that hour, and Bastion is super fun when you're not playing in turret mode. Like I was just running around like playing him just shooting in scout mode or whatever, and they changed his like I think in the latest patch, the one that was right before open beta, they changed his left click to be like more precise and also do more damage, so you can like headshot people from like miles away. And then if you get hit at any time, you have a heal or a repair with no cooldown. The only thing that it does is if you get hit, you can't repair it, interrupts it, and then you have to start it again.
Right.
So like if you get sniped, you just back off, heal, go back out, fucking shoot some people, back off, heal. Like I was just doing that, and it was super fun. And then since you can go turret mode, you get behind their spawn and just go fucking turret mode and get like a 5K because no one's looking at you because you're a Bastion in non-turret mode. Which is fucking awesome. Like, so that's how I'm probably always going to play that character.
Dude, he was already OP. I'm surprised they gave him an alt fire that was also apparently really good.
Yeah. I have that. Oh, and then you have his ultimate. That's the other crazy thing too. Is like when you're in scout mode and you get kills, it charges your ultimate like super ridiculously fast. So you just walk around in scout mode, get your ultimate super quick, and then fucking walk around in scout mode, get set up for your ult because you can move. And then just ult someone, and it's like, yeah, you just destroy them. That was actually the last thing we did in this stream this morning. So like, here's me getting behind them all, going into turret mode, and just destroying these people. Like they're coming out of spawn and just getting destroyed. And that ends up getting play of the game because of course it does. Because Bastion always gets play of the game, it seems. But
Bastion, he's such a joke.
yeah,
I hate that.
but-
I hate Bastion and Torbjorn play the games,
dude.
when, like especially when Torbjorn's just like running around, it's like kill, and he's
Dude.
not like shooting anybody.
The Torbjorn hour was second worst. It was so fucking boring, dude. And I'm like in there. I've been awake for like 23 hours. I'm just like, yep. Nope. Ultimate's up. Let's just press Q and just fucking keep beating the fucking turret. Get a multi-kill. Like that's all it was for an hour. That was really rough. But yeah, like apart from that, I discovered new heroes that like I never played Diva, Symmetra, Widow, or Bastion before that. And now those are like the 4 characters I really want to play. And I think that's like true for Overwatch in general is that people play heroes in that game. That, like there's people that are like, oh, I've never played a healer before. And then they play Lucio or Lucio or Mercy, and they're just like, they made a healing class like fun. Like, how did they do that?
I
love
personally
Lucio,
love
man.
playing Lucio or Mercy.
It makes no sense. I don't they really
it's
did a good
also,
job.
Like I can get into a game, and like if I select Mercy, everybody's like, "Oh, good, thank God," you know, like thank God I don't have to do it, or someone's
Right.
doing it. I don't have to or whatever.
Yeah, it's a hell of a game, and I mean I'm preaching to the choir because I think everyone fucking bought it. Like someone was saying that they were like doing workouts the other day in the gym, just listening to idle banter, and like it just popped up in conversation. Like, hey man, I'm checking out this Overwatch. My friend said it was really good, and it's just like some guy working out in the gym, just talking about Overwatch. So it seems like it's going to be a huge game. Which
you know how we know if it actually makes it, if it's all the hype that it is if it makes it on a South Park episode.
Yeah.
Because they had WoW, they had GTA, they've had like several different video games on there, Minecraft. Like if this
streamers
hits
in general,
South Park, you got it.
Yeah, it
has basically been on there on YouTube.
Right. The other thing too is I think like Blizzard's the only people, or Overwatch is the only game I've ever seen do this on Twitch. It's been playable for like 6 months, right? When it first started in closed beta, that was an awesome play, by the way. It started in closed beta, and like it got a lot of viewership, right, when it first launched. And then like open beta it re-sparked it. Towards the end of closed beta, it was like 2,000 viewers. Open beta, it re-sparked it a little bit. Then the game launched, and like 300,000 people were watching on Monday night at launch on Twitch. I've never seen another game do that before. It always just like wears itself out. So I guess that's Overwatch.
Well, I mean, this game, it just keeps getting better.
It does.
Every time I play it.
I mean, it does bring the salt. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that. I think everyone gets upset at this game, but it's in like the best possible way. Like I've even seen get pretty upset a couple times.
Dude, the last time we played together was like the first time I had played Overwatch in a long time, since the last beta at least. And dude, it's one of those sessions where you just never have a game that you were just like proud of, like,
yeah.
Like, I got a few like kill streaks, and I think like the first round I got play of the game that we played, and I was excited about that. But then after that, like it was just a cornucopia of failure.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
When you can't catch your stride, you're like you're almost there, and then it just never quite get to like that point where you've been, you can be.
Right.
And you just keep playing. It's like, God, when am I going to fucking learn how to do this?
Yeah. Or you're playing against a Genji who's like really good, and you're just like this.
Oh my God.
Fucking piece of shit. The Genji hour was fun.
That guy was MLG plus. I mean, I don't even, that was insane. The guy we were playing against.
Oh yeah.
That says a lot about the game though. When you can, and it's not like he was just really good at aiming. Like he knew exactly how to play that character. That's one of the things that got me kind of coming back to it, is seeing like all the different ways that people have gotten really good and the strategies they've come up with and stuff like that. Like even though the game has already been out for through all the betas, like 4 months, 5 months now?
Long fucking time.
I still see new stuff relatively frequently that people are doing, which is pretty cool. But then again, I don't play as much as a lot of other people. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And just like you said, I was pretty blown away by the numbers on Overwatch. I mean, I knew it was going to be big. I did not know it was going to be that big.
The trends, the historically, a game that's been out that long just doesn't do that well on launch because everyone's seen it, So like for it to pull those numbers is like, for the full 24-hour streams, one of the stats that we had was like 430,000 unique viewers on the stream, which is just like, one, that's fucking absurd for me just as a streamer. That's way beyond my normal. And two, like I did not expect to have anywhere near the amount of people watching that on Twitch. Like to sit in the top spot and get that much fucking viewers. It's just insane.
Now, to be fair, and it's an interesting segue to go into though.
Yeah,
I would argue that a huge reason that you were as successful as that is that you did a huge amount of positioning. You had a planned event,
right?
Like everything. You did what with Overwatch what I did for Fallout 4.
It was, and also for me, it was the perfect storm. Everything worked in my favor.
It was a game you really enjoyed.
Yeah,
it was a great, like the whole stream was planned out well with all the different heroes, because I know a lot of people hadn't seen a lot of those heroes played for that long.
Right.
It was really good.
And the other thing too, I'm sure someone would be wondering this. Another smaller streamer, like for smaller streamers, this game was awful to stream. Like people were saying they switched games completely because the numbers were just like terrible. Like someone I know averages around 200 viewers streamed Overwatch on launch night and had like 50 or 40.
Yeah.
And someone who gets like, Yeah, somebody gets like 1,200. Was like 700.
There were streamers that averaged like multiple thousands that were 500-ish on their release day. And it's kind of weird because it seems to be polarizing right around the middle.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh. Oh yeah. You muted yourself, or she muted you, or it muted you. I don't know if it's he or she. Still can't hear you.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. But yeah, no, what's kind of strange about Overwatch is it has this polarizing effect right around the middle.
Yeah.
Where if you're in the upper echelon of viewers, you'll be doing about as well as you normally do on average. But if you get near the top, it like kind of skyrockets a little bit, even for me, especially for that kind of stuff. But if you're not in that middle area, like numbers are 50% and lower.
Right.
It's kind of strange. Like, I don't know. It may be indicative that there's just a lot of new viewers looking for Overwatch streams and regular viewers are not super jazzed about it. But I have noticed a lot of Counter-Strike players also, Counter-Strike and first-person players like Battlefield players, stuff like that. They tend to get higher than average numbers regardless of where they are.
Right.
So there seems to be a lot of interest for it, but it almost seems like most of the interest is experienced first-person viewers / players and new viewers.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see next week if the viewers and the views are still as good as they are. Because like this morning, I think I peaked out at like 7K, and that was at the very end, still building. It was building the entire time. Like that's abnormal for my stream. So I don't know. We'll see next week where we're at. I hope, obviously, for my own stream's sake, that it continues because it's one of those things where we've talked about on the stream or on the show before. It's a game that I like. It's a game that I could play for hours, and it's getting good viewership right now. So for me, it's just like, yeah, I'll stream 24 hours or 23 hours and stream 7 the next day because it's an awesome game. So that's no problem for me.
Yeah, and I'm the exactly opposite boat.
Yeah.
I do really poorly with hype games.
Really?
I do really poorly with games that just came out. And this being one of them. Like, I lose half my viewers if I play Overwatch or I play something that just was released.
Yeah,
like I do pretty badly with it.
I wonder because I think that's kind of indicative of just like this will. I don't know how to say this, but besides just saying it, people around the same viewership as you have the exact same problem. I don't think it has anything to do with you or your stream or anything like that. I think it's literally just like if you're in this like. I would say like 900 to like 2,000 range, maybe a little bit like 900 to 1,800 on a new game. You're just gonna have the hardest time finding an audience for it.
Yeah. No, I did like like whenever I played Overwatch or like I think the last time I played Dark Souls 3, like I tripled my numbers by playing Diablo 2.
Right. Yeah. I actually watched you play Diablo 2 because I guess you had never played before.
Nope.
So
Never
for me,
played
like.
Diablo.
You're walking around in the fucking the first whatever that I'm blank. I should know this because I've done it 1,000 times. The first little cave that you go into, and you're like, so how do I do these potions? And I'm like, oh my god, how does he not? Is this real life? Like you fucking right click the potion and move it into, or you can just shift and left click and it'll go over to the inventory.
Right. It seems so second nature to you guys.
It really does. Like I had to think
so
about
fun to watch people like you,
the backseaters, yeah,
and say that shit like, "What is this guy fucking? Is he retarded or something?" Like he doesn't know what's going on. Like, no, this is I'm not stupid. It's my first time playing. I'm learning this shit,
which is awesome. Like
I'm picking up every single little item, just like, oh, grabbing this. And then I'm like portaling back to the town, selling it, coming back, grabbing everything else, porting back to the town, selling it, come back. They're like, dude, just stop picking up the white items.
That's one of those games where I wish I could forget my playthroughs of it, my billions of hours in it, and relive it. Because like, obviously, it wouldn't be the same experience today because games look a lot different and play a lot different. But like, just a hell of a game, How far did you get?
I didn't get very far. I got I rescued Deckard.
Yeah. That's halfway through Act 1, I think.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah. I didn't know. I almost got done with Act 1. Okay. I didn't get done with Act 1 yet.
Was chat just spamming the name of the Act 1 boss?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. But no, they were all like as soon as I was like in the area where you rescue Decker, everybody was like, well, what's this phrase like? Sit and talk a while, or
Yeah.
Stay a while and listen.
Stay a while and
yeah,
listen.
stay a while and listen. That's what it is. And so I guess I missed a piece of dialogue. Like I might have been talking or something, but I freed him from the cage, and he was like, "We've got to get out of here," and he like portals out of there. So immediately I was like, "Fuck this guy! He never thanked me for freeing him. Fuck Deckard Cain." Riot! It was a fucking riot. Everybody was like, "You can't say that."
You just insulted Grandpa.
You did.
Exactly.
Don't insult
Exactly.
Grandpa.
So I was like, "Well, fuck you! I'm gonna go on Twitter and say it."
Everyone loves him because I'm sure you saw this, but like he's the identifier, man. He identifies all the items for you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. People are like, he's gonna identify it for free. It's like, yeah, because a scroll of identify is so hard to find, or B, it's really difficult to buy it from the lady who has an unlimited fucking amount. And I made a vow right there. I am never having Deckard Cain identify anything.
Ooh.
Never.
Ooh. You had to.
See, look at the faces.
You had to have pissed off some people there.
It's worth it for just. I kept my identify scroll book full the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I'd be out and I'd be fucking identifying shit on my own.
Yep. What was Necromancer chosen by donation goals or chat or anything, or did you just flock to that?
What?
To the Necromancer class?
Oh, I was just going through it, and Necromancer seemed like way different than any class that they had.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Necrodancer. Necromancer looks pretty fucking fun. Everybody in chat. So I gave him a choice. I was like, Necro or whatever the other one was. And everybody was like, Necro. I was like, okay, we'll do that. And I feel like I made a great choice because like I loved having an army of skeletons and like a golem.
Dude,
like,
it gets better. Yeah. Did you get your
do all
blood
the shit
golem?
for me?
The fucking blood golem's the best, dude. So fucking goddamn good.
Yeah. And like I'm actually excited to go back to this at some point and maybe play the game all the way through one time.
I'm trying to think like because I played almost every class and almost every spec to that in that game. I think like a Hammerden was probably my favorite. Like now I'm forgetting the fucking. I just remember Hammerden. It was like what is the fucking ability called? Chad will help me out here. Fist of the Heavens maybe is what I used. Whatever their max one was. But yeah, it's funny that Diablo 2 still got a patch this year. Like they're still patching this game. That's how fucking like much Blizzard cares about Diablo 2.
And that's what people like were saying when they were coming to my chat. They'd be like,
Blessed Hammer, that's what
I
it was.
haven't played this in a long time. They must have done a lot of patching.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like when I loaded the game, they're like, oh, you loaded right in. It didn't take like 2 minutes to get in there. You just get like right in. I went, oh, is that a thing that you have to wait like a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Apparently it used to be.
It's a hell of a game.
But as you can see, like, I thought I'm looking at myself on the. Anyway, as you can see above my head in the video you have,
right?
There was the cosplay incentive day.
Who won?
Funny you should ask. There's actually a highlight somewhere of the very last seconds of the thing. And it was going between Dan's Gaming and Casey Tron. It was like going back and forth, like $100 for Casey, 50 for Dan. Then back and forth, just back and forth. And then I called time, and Casey had won. However, within the video delay from me speaking to them hearing out in the world, someone threw in 2,500 for DJ Wheat. So it was like time was called, but within that 11 seconds after the time was called, 2,500, someone wanted to snake it at the very end. So $2,500 came in for DJ Wheat at the very end, and people were like, foul, no, blah, boo. So I was like, all right, tell you what we'll do. So Dan lost fair and square because he would have lost Casey Tron no matter what. But I will do two in the future. I will do a Casey Tron and a DJ Wheat cosplay. And everybody seemed to be happy with that. But one of the more generous donators from, any charity any year came in and was just like trying to like snake it at the last minute, and the delay fucked him.
So I just texted
what the people want. We're gonna see what I want.
Right, exactly. And that would been awesome.
That's
fantastic.
Just sent a text to Wheat. Did you donate to Zeke so he'd cosplay you? Be honest.
No, I actually know who this person is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's,
gotcha.
Don't Care Bear is the name.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
What a boss.
Awesome. I'm trying to find it here. So I want to see like your reaction.
You can see the counter on the screen.
Right.
At the bottom there, if you see it like.
Oh, you've got 3 minutes left here.
Okay.
Wait, you went full screen. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, well, it's probably because it was over.
Well, whatever. I'll fumble about this.
Fumble about.
Was Diablo all you? Oh, there's a negative there. Was Diablo all you played?
That's all I played that day. Yeah, highest donator from the previous day gets to pick the game for the next day, and the previous day was Cookie, and she said she wanted to see me play Diablo 2. She gave me a choice between Diablo 2 or Warcraft. There it is. Boom. Don't care, Bear.
Yeah.
Right there. 2,500. Boom.
That's pretty awesome. I saw on
but
the top.
she gave me a choice between Diablo 2 or Warcraft Frozen Throne. And I picked Diablo 2 since I never played a Diablo game.
Oh man, Warcraft 3 is really good too.
Oh, I know. I played a little bit of that back in the day. That was like one of the games that I actually touched a little bit.
Yeah. It actually has like you can play it. I think you can play it in like 16:9 resolution now. Like they went back and changed it and patched it, so it stretches to that.
Well, I actually like the older games that do this, so I can have all the info on the left-hand side.
yeah, it makes it easier for the overlays for sure. On the topic of
chat too.
Oh yeah, on chat, you can put chat there. On the topic of big donations, when Co got the 5K from, who was it from? Do you remember the person's name, Co? Sorry, that's rude of me to put you on the spot, but when you got that, like you had the same like, oh my god, look on your
dude,
face.
that whole day was in like I was reeling after that cast, absolutely reeling.
Yeah.
It was anonymous. The biggest donation was anonymous.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I think they claimed it later in chat. But yeah, we got over $20,000 in 2 hours.
Nice. We should also state that we're not assholes sitting on a show talking about how much money people donated to us. This is all for charity. If you're tuning in, we're not just doing a show like, man, I got $30,000 yesterday, guys. Can you believe that? Fucking some idiot donated $30,000 to me. Whew.
We had multiple people drop in through the Fallout charity train, which is that big thing that happened. We had multiple people drop in, and a couple of them just started raging.
Yeah?
Like, why are you giving this neckbeard money? Like, this guy plays video games. Why is everyone sharing and promoting this? Like, one guy did like a block in all caps where he's like, this is what's wrong in America. I was like, raising money to cure cancer in kids? This is what's wrong in America? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It was really funny.
Yeah, but I can understand like if someone coming in not knowing what's going on and seeing, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like us badgering, like I'm shameless. I'm absolutely shameless.
Right.
Like, give me money now. Give it now, money.
Right.
And I can see like 5,000 or like $50, and you know the person. You're like, $50, you son of a bitch. That's not near enough. I know you got more in there.
Yeah. No,
like, how horrible would that look if I was like doing that for me?
Seriously, it's incredible to think about it though. But like with these big charity events, and I think this is a really good thing to say to people on Twitch, because it's very easy to forget this sometimes. But a lot of times we have thousands of people watching us or hundreds of people watching us. If you remind people like, hey guys, if every person right now donated $5, like if you're one of those people where $5 is doable, if you could go to another channel and sub to it, you could help cure cancer in kids if you donate that right now. That I've had 4 major trains during this fundraising event, and all of them started with a 30-second to 1-minute speech about, hey, like, let's put this in perspective here. Let's think about this. And like, it's crazy. Like if people start thinking that way, what they'll do is just incredible. And inevitably you have people that then look at that and they go, you know what? I'm going to do more than this. And all of a sudden you see like $25, $50. And we had a donation train going for almost an hour before that $5,000 donation came in. We had a $2,500 and 2,000s during that same train.
Nice.
And it's because everyone everyone got on the same wavelength for a fraction of a second, and it was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like whenever you tour the facility at St. Jude in Memphis or whatever, like one of the first things they tell you is like, I don't remember the percentage, but it's a huge majority percentage, like 70-80% or something like that. They're like 70-80% of how this hospital runs is from $30 donations or less. Like
Yeah.
it's people giving $30 or less. Not the big donators don't the lion's share comes from everybody pitching in what they can.
I remember when Zach was on, he was talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
just
we had Zach on a couple shows ago. If you didn't watch that, we definitely watched the first hour where we kind of talked to him about St. Jude. If you're interested in the fundraising, or even just St. Jude as in general, he did a great job. But it's cool to see on like Twitch around this time of the year, where you guys have your own team or your stream team on the fundraising site. Bacon Donut just did his stream. I think we were saying he raised like 103,000 or some astronomical
171-hour stream
Yeah.
straight across a great team of people on Twitch, and they broke 100K on the 171st hour.
Yeah.
$100,000 in 171 hours. That's
pretty
insane.
crazy. Pretty crazy.
Insane.
And I know Anthony Kong fan is doing one on his own.
He's already broke 25K.
Yeah, and apparently,
bitch.
yeah, if he breaks like 50K, he's getting it doubled or someone by the St. Jude team or something like that. Which is we don't know who the St. Jude team is, but fuck,
St. Jude Partners.
St. Jude Partners. Sorry, you're right. Which is another that would be another 100,000. Like, last year did Twitch and like if you totaled all the broadcasters on Twitch, did you guys break 1 million?
As of Zachary Witten tweeted something out, I think a week ago, and basically, I think the amount that casters had raised had fully funded a day as of like a week ago or a few days ago.
Just this year?
Jude, huge, yeah. Just from the Twitch, just from the Play Live event stuff.
Oh, just this year or from everything?
I think from everything. But keep in mind,
okay.
like a day at St. Jude is millions.
Right. I remember when he broke that down.
It's like a really big deal.
Yeah.
It's like 1.8, 2.2 million or something.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts.
Crazy amount of money.
That's pretty
But
nuts.
still, to think that the community, the gaming community, has raised 24 hours of 100% like helping kids, helping cure cancer, pioneering new research techniques. Like, that's a lot of time
For sure.
with as many people as St. Jude helps. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, definitely. I guess to jump back on to the point where you were talking about people were coming in your chat and be like, why are people donating to this neckbeard? One of the things to link it back into the Overwatch
And I
stuff.
still get neckbeard. Even with this, I still get neckbeard.
We all look, I don't even have a camera. And people still call me a neckbeard. All right, it's just a universal troll. But to bring it back into
underneath,
I'm lazy is really what it boils down to. To bring it back into the Overwatch thing, one of the things that I was actually surprised by.
we got to bring you back to Overwatch.
We're not going to talk about the actual game. One of the things that I was surprised by is that, and I was talking to Ko about this morning, is that things happened during that stream that I did not know what to do or how to deal with them, and it really came down to. For giveaways, and we've talked about this before a little bit, but one of the things was with giveaways. And so, yeah, for every hour we would give away a game, or there was multiple things, right? And this is actually something that can splinter off into a bunch of different conversations, one that I want to have on most of them. The first one is with giveaways, I was worried going into the stream that one of the biggest issues with just having someone type in chat a keyword or enter or whatever is there are assholes on the internet, big surprise, but they will actually have, they will actually go and get bots that come into your chat and spam the keyword no matter what. They'll just set it to spam. And I knew this was a thing, but I had never experienced it firsthand. 100% yesterday, there was probably multiple keys given to people that were using bots. 100%. Because when you factor in, like, and you have no way to know. Well, I was going by.
Do the bots automatically follow the channel too?
Yes. I would assume so, which is another thing that's interesting too, because Twitch bans somehow, some way. Every once in a while, they'll do like a follower check or something. Purge, yeah. And they'll actually just ban bot accounts on Twitch. And so every
Most
once
of
in a
them
while,
are accounts that have not been email verified for multiple months.
there you go. And so if you go to Social Blade, every once in a while on like your daily stuff, you'll just see like minus 600 or minus 700. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, why did everyone leave? It's because they're banning this chat. And so with the giveaways yesterday, like, I didn't know what to do because I wanted to make sure that people that were getting them were like actual viewers that wanted to be there and were like actual following the channel, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm sure a bot got a thing or two because as I was doing this, people were like, keys are popping up on G2A in real time. Are any of these your keys? And I was like, well, if I knew the key, then we couldn't sell it. Like, we couldn't give it away. That's how it works. But like, I don't know how to combat that at all besides like making a custom giveaway solution. I know that Curse has a thing, but I think that's where you're going with it, right? It was Curse?
Well, it's really interesting you say that because what you're talking about right now is a situation that my channel had to deal with years ago. Like when we started doing our giveaway system, because we do lots of giveaways on my channel because we have a volunteer giveaway system where people can give games to give away and it's real smooth. So we do giveaways all the time. And we noticed that exactly like you're talking about, the bots, what they'll do is when they detect X amount of X amount of commands in chat at a time, and I know this because I ended up talking to one of the people that makes these bots. When they detect X amount of keywords in a chat at a time, they'll start spamming them too. So if you've ever been in a Twitch chat where all of a sudden, a few people do a giveaway command, and then all of a sudden 30 people are doing it, then 50 people, then 100 people, and it all happens like near instantly, that's probably a channel that has bots in it at that second.
So this is what would happen. I would do it on the hour every hour. The second this clock hit an hour, it would spam just like loads, like just spamming nonstop.
It's cumulative. So the more people doing it, the more chance that bots will pick up on it and enter. So like what we did for the longest time, we actually came up with an entirely custom system where people had to claim. We were one of the first channels that did that. Like because we were like, okay, we need a way around this. So what happened and what we saw was when we first implemented our claim system, and for those who don't know, what we did was the winner would have to type !claim within 60 seconds or it would automatically re-roll.
So that's what we
first did that. When we first put that system in, we had like a 20% claim rate.
So
1/5 of people would claim their prizes. And I mean, like, it was crazy.
I did the 60-second thing too, where you had to type in chat, like, yes, I want the key within 60 seconds or we roll. The thing is I started to notice a trend out because we give away 21 keys, among other stuff. And I started to notice later on that they would type it at like 57, 58, like right at the limit.
Yeah.
And there's not that long of a delay on my stream, no matter what you're watching on. So like, that's why I was just kind of like, am I just giving, like, for smaller streamers, they can't, I guess what I'm saying is for smaller streamers, they can't actually they don't have funds to pay a developer to make this stuff. So like, what's the solution if you want to do giveaways? Is there one?
Well, the big problem is any system that's on the internet is exploitable.
Right.
And when you route any system through a plain text interface, it's going to be even more exploitable. Like any bot guy can come up with any way to scam a Twitch giveaway system within minutes if they know what they're doing. The issue is going to be like until we implement things like CAPTCHAs or things like that, just like all these other websites did to get around these problems on their sites.
Right.
We're not going to see any of this stuff happen. Now, funny enough, there have already been musings on giveaway systems like Curse and things like that of getting a CAPTCHA, a limited claim time with a CAPTCHA. So a human would have to actually interact with it. We've thought about doing that for a while. In fact, at one point we had a CAPTCHA on our website and the winner would get a link and then they would have to go to the website and type in a CAPTCHA to claim the prize. But at that point, we started thinking about it. And we went, well, how difficult do we really want to make this?
Right. That's the other thing.
We just have to kind of accept that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And so it's a really kind of weird gray area right now. And it's one of those things that, has evolved since Twitch has been out and it will continue to evolve. Like I'd love for there eventually to be a Twitch sanctioned giveaway system.
Yeah,
that would be great. Of course, we're probably never going to see that.
Yeah, I don't think legally Twitch could ever do that because then they would have to be some sort of, they'd have to be almost not a bank, but the equivalent of that for, taking in goods and then giving them out, right?
Well, as long as I'm sure they could very easily put in legalese how the only thing they're doing is pulling a random name out of a list.
Yeah,
like
probably
completely on the channel content owner of delegating prizes, doing all that. I'm sure they could do that, but what would become a lot more interesting there is at that point you're starting to talk about gambling laws and state by state and
Right.
international, and that it would become sticky. But the point is it's a problem. There, any way you come up around it or to get around it will be beaten. It's just a matter of time, and accepting it is part of it. In fact, one of the reasons we implemented the token system on the channel in giveaways was to get around that. It doesn't matter if you're botting giveaways if the bots just got in the channel, because they're not going to be token wreck and they're not going to get entered. So it's and of course now, because we've done that, now we have bots that sit in the channel.
Do you just have idlers? Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
So and it's like that's not good. That's not going to help anything.
Yeah.
So we had to play with that. We're still in the process of playing with it. In fact, we may eventually remove tokens from giveaways and come up with a new method of doing that. So it's staying one step ahead of them while they try to stay one step ahead of us. Right. Part of the game. So that's actually one of the reasons I took follows out of my giveaway. You do not have to be following my channel.
That's another thing I'm going to bring up right after this. But Zeke, do you do any giveaways on your channel? And if so, like, what's the method that you use?
I do giveaways on my channel. Usually if I get like a big tip, like if someone just pops in and throws me like $150, $200 for no reason.
Yeah.
I'll just do it spontaneous. Like, all right, since we got this big tip here, and I make no bones about it, I'm like, I'm going to keep half of it. And then the other half we're gonna use for game giveaway, whatever. And during the break, all I do is I have my bot command says raffle open, opens the raffle, and then raffle closed. When the 3-minute break is up, and it'll say like once I draw, it'll do raffle draw, and once it draws a name out, it'll say blah 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 is following the channel, and then I whisper them the game key or whatever. And my channel's not like as big as your guys's, so I probably don't have a lot of bot spam,
right? Because
of that. And also, I do a lot of spontaneous giveaway. Like I don't like.
It's not premeditated,
Usually don't plan giveaways. Usually my shit is like if someone pops in, it's like, hey, here's for the hours of entertainment. It gives me like $100 tip. They're like, okay, let's buy 3 copies of this $10 game and give them away. And that kind of shit. So I don't usually ever plan my giveaways when they happen.
Yeah, I'm just reading through chat and seeing a lot of different ideas. Someone was saying that you can make them type a sentence that you say. My understanding with the bots is that they have control over all the bots to be able to talk in chat because they're spamming a keyword, right? So I assume they could probably just type in whatever you're trying to say on the thing on the stream, and they could just type that in and get around it that way. So
again, any single system
they're going to figure it out,
come up with will get loopholes. It's just a matter of time. So it's just dealing, it's honestly, I think the most important thing is just constantly changing. Just
constantly adapting. I saw one of the things that a lot of people recommended to me when I tweeted this out, like what giveaway system do people use, and I saw Tally do it as well. And Co, I'm sure you've seen it or used it as well. Is the curse giveaway system that they have?
We have giveaways going on my curse nonstop.
Yeah.
I love that system.
My only issue with that is, and granted, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, so I could probably say this, and Co won't touch on it because he's sponsored by them, but maybe, I don't know. That's up to him. Is I don't want to force people to download another program.
They don't have to. It's web-based.
It's all web-based, so they just go to the web?
I actually had that original.
In your face, JP!
I didn't know that.
In your face!
I mean, I'm learning. That's good.
That would be a big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome to know.
Not only they have a web interface, and actually, it's interesting because just today we moved our giveaway, like what people have to do now, as of right now. If you want to give something away in the channel, you have to contact them on the Steam chat room, and you confirm everything in there. But as of today, we moved everything to Curse.
Okay.
So, yeah, now we were pretty much everything.
So, what's the process then? Does someone go to Curse, type in the code, and then it goes to Curse? They verify it somehow. I don't know how.
Nope.
Then it spits out.
Curse. The only thing Curse does is again, it's very much similar to what I was saying about what Twitch would have to do earlier. They get a list of names. They pull a list out of it. They give you tons of options. Dude, you want to hear something horrible? On Curse, you can do pre-draws of winners as testing. So you can set a number of winners that will be drawn before the real one, and they get notified.
Oh, shit.
So it's like you could have like a pre-draw of 3, and it would be like, this person would have won but got picked first. This person would have won but got picked second. This person would have won but got picked third. And here's the winner.
That's
and
pretty
it's like,
good.
Who thought this was a good idea?
That's pretty good. Is that system, how automated is that entire system? In the sense that, what do you have to do as a
everything
broadcaster?
All you have to do, you have to set up a timer, a title, and a timer in the admin panel. You hit go. It puts that little button on your screen. People can enter as far as they want. Then you go back into your admin settings and you just click one button, end giveaway. And it rolls a winner, and you can either close the giveaway at that point because it shows the winner on the thing, or like we leave it open for a day so people can see the winner.
Gotcha.
Or re-roll if you want to re-roll for any reason.
Because that was the other thing too, that I was about 18 hours in or 17 hours in when I was doing the next giveaway. I was just like, this is like, I'm actually not able to think right now. And I did a giveaway I gave it away to someone who wasn't even following the channel, even though that was like the rule is to follow the channel. I just didn't see it because I was fucking so tired. So I was just like, I can't do it. Mods, do this. Take this and give it away from me. I'm so tired of doing this because I'm so fucking tired in general. So that was one of the other issues I had. But maybe I'll check out Curse. I've always had issues with them in the past for other reasons that I won't go into. But I'll check out the program. We'll see. It seems like it would be good. No one else has another option.
I gotta say, like I was a Discord bro for a long time, and it did everything I needed. I talked with Discord. I talked with Curse. Talked to actually the CEOs of both companies. I don't want to.
I'm not asking you to get into that because that's weird for you.
The cool thing about Curse, what I like about it, is their devs, like they have a room with the devs, and you basically say, "Hey, I would love this feature," and they update like twice a day.
Yeah.
And so many times you'll see someone be like, "Hey, I'd love if it would do this," and like that night or the next day you'll see it pop up in the notes. It's like, okay,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
And they have like all sorts of admin stuff that helps with streaming, and yeah, it's good. It's a good solution.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm not saying, if you're a Discord person, use Discord. Like they're chat systems.
I mean,
use them if you don't want to, whatever, do whatever you want.
The rule in my eyes is if someone's giving you money and you like the program, get money for using the program. And go whoever gives you more money as a streamer. As a viewer, just figure out which one you want to use. Co will say, check out Curse. Go look at Curse and see what you think.
But the most important thing is don't use a service if a streamer tells you to. Use
the
service.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You like better, and hopefully it's the service your streamer uses. If it's not, again, no big deal. We stream every day. You can drop in our chats.
Right.
Totally cool.
So
like people told me like, "Hey, Co, I know you're with Curse, but I really like Discord." I'm like, "Awesome."
They're both great.
Discord. I'm not going to be mad at you. Like,
right.
What? I don't care.
That's it's interesting that you bring that up. The other day I was approached by a potential sponsor, and I don't know if this is indicative of just the sponsor themselves or what, but they were saying that they will only approach streamers who actively use their products, and they won't actually approach a streamer unless they say that they're using their product on their spec page before they even approach them. And I was just kind of like, all right, I'm down with that trend if that continues on, so you don't just see like X streamer transfer over to X hardware on a day because they get paid for it. Like, that's really cool if sponsors start doing that.
My very first relationship with Razer, actually, when I first started talking to them, I was like, hey, like I like your products. They look cool, but I've never actually, like, I was a Logitech guy through and through at the time. It's all I ever used. And I was like, and I loved them because it's all I used. I was like, yeah, I'd love to check your stuff out, but I don't use it right now. And they were like, oh, well, we can recommend some products. You can check them out if you like them. And sure enough, I did. I loved them. And now I'm a Razer, I'm sponsored by Razer, and it worked out great. But at the same time, it's kind of nice because we had many back and forths before any of this happened. And there was multiple times when they were like, look, don't like it to work with us. Like, if you like the product, that's awesome, and let's keep talking. But if you don't like the product, that's fine too. Like, I was told that actually more than once. And it's like, good. I'm glad we're on the same page here because, I don't want to represent anything that I don't like.
Right.
So,
I mean,
it's good to see them thinking like that.
Today, the three of us turned down a deal where we just weren't interested because of the product. We weren't fans of it. So
a sizable deal. They wanted to fly us out in some cases.
Yeah. We just,
and it didn't line up with what we want.
Yeah.
Well, for the record, I said yes because I could use the money. These guys were like, nope, and I was like, come on.
We took the moral high ground. Zeke was already fucking. He was just ready. He was just ready.
Just give me the money first, then tell me what I'm promoting. I'll do it that way.
Exactly.
It's like, performing arson on orphanages? Nah, that's all right. Just give me the money first. We'll call it.
And that's how Zeke got his latest sponsor, Alfredo's Anal Beads.
There you go.
When you just
Video.
need to plug it up.
Yeah.
No, we were
Video coming soon.
We were unanimous. We were unanimous.
Yeah.
I
We
was
were
anonymous
guys.
and unanimous at the same time.
Yeah. We were in the animus.
Yeah, but we were unanimous on that. It was just like, nah, I don't really care for this. Let's not do it. And everybody's like, okay.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Me and JP had a talk, and it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
not for us.
Yeah.
Not
For
us.
sure. For sure.
I hope we'll be able to talk about it down the road in a future episode.
It'll probably come up in E3 stuff, I would think. Like, maybe we'll be like, fuck, we should have probably said yes to that.
We'll see like 3 other streamers like pulling up in their Hummer limos like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, for sure. That would have been, I hope that's not the case, because that would be sad, but it might happen. You never know. You never know.
There, and for those I'm seeing chat time, there are reasons we can't mention anything beyond what we're
Right,
talking
yeah. We actually had to sign an NDA to even enter into the thing, so that's why. To go back to one of the splints off of giveaways, a conversation that I was having with a bunch of streamers this morning, one of them, the idea that giveaways are potentially... So I guess what I'll say is that prior to doing a giveaway for the Overwatch stream, the follower rate on the stream was probably like, I would say 150 an hour, maybe. The second I started doing giveaways, it jumped to, after the 5th giveaway, we were at 7,000. And that skyrocketed to end up around 18, I think it was like 17.8 thousand over the course of the entire stream. So with giveaways coming into the equation, this is something that's been a long practice on Twitch. And it won't go away at all. Because it's the best way. It's one of the best ways to get followers for that. But what do you guys think? Is that once again like the morality of the individual streamer itself to choose? Do I want to build a channel based on giveaways to net X amount of follows, or and it's kind of this idea of followership being the important number here, and a lot of reason why streamers do it, because they're playing the game and they're chasing the idea that sponsors constantly look at followers above anything else, which is actually true because it's the public number.
Say, which to be fair is true.
It's the public-facing number that they can see. They can't see concurrence when you're offline. They can see your followers. So, like, is this idea of giveaways something that needs to be changed on Twitch, or does it even matter? Is it a person-by-person case? Like, what are you guys? Where are you at on this, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I'll say this: doing giveaways has never helped me numbers-wise.
It won't. It actually won't help.
Never
anyone.
helped me. It's created like a modicum of like, you know, good guy vibe for me, that kind of shit. Like, but as far as measurable, like boosts, it's never like I've never noticed anything from giveaways ever.
Right.
Like, even when I advertise them, I'm like, hey, we're giving away copies of this game. Like, my viewer numbers don't go up drastically.
Ryan in the chat says, think about it as giving back to your community, showing off appreciation by holding giveaways. I think some streamers think that. I think other streamers do it to get followers. They're not thinking of their community. Think of growing their community, which is definitely what I was. I mean, all 100%. That's why I did giveaways to follow the stream yesterday. Now looking back on it, I kind of wish I didn't, because one, out of those 17,000, 1,000 are probably going to turn into actual viewers. Of those 1,000, 5 to 10 will maybe turn into subs. Like it, I guess that's the morality of it coming into play. Where are these numbers? Are these inflated numbers worth it for me?
It's again a really interesting situation. Every streamer is going to approach it differently. For me, giveaways, tips on the screen, you know, all this stuff is something that's kind of evolved as my channel has evolved over the last 3 years. For me, I used to have giveaways in my title. In fact, it was one of the first things in my title. Like when I first started doing giveaways, especially once the engine really picked up. Like it's in a beautiful place now where, you know, right now we have a backlog of over 400 things to give away on my channel. Right. And we do giveaways. We have a giveaway queue. Mods are trained on how to use a system. We have a full API backend. Like it's become an engine that's self-sustaining now. But before it was, you know, it was in the title. We would talk about it frequently. I would announce big giveaways. I'd put them on Twitter and stuff. But the more we moved forward, it was kind of chipping away at the giant. Like first we made it so you didn't have to follow. Then we made it so, there were tokens. Then I made a pledge. I was going to take them out of my title, like all normal giveaways, we're not going to mention them anymore.
Right.
And it got to the point where I never put giveaways in my title unless they're sponsored specifically and the sponsor wants them, or something like that. And, it's like an event or something. And, like people don't even know what huge aways are, but we do them every month anyway. And it's the kind of thing where with follows, it comes down to what do you want your number to represent? So, like, for instance, a lot of people are very big about using this service called Splurgy right now. And what Splurgy does is you can put up a product for a giveaway, and there's all these things called gates. Are my birds going ham?
No, Zeke's actually just immature, believe it or not.
I am Splurgy. I was like, I've been that site. Oh, different site.
How do you spell? How is that spelled, by the way?
I'm thinking of Sploogy.
It's
How is that spelled, Co? Let's move on quickly.
It's rule34overwatch.reddit.com.
Let's talk about that. Why is Widowmaker always have a giant penis in Rule 34? Anyway, no.
Anyway, it's and you get all these gates. And for instance, when I first used Splurgy, my buddy Elohim turned me on to it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I put up a whole bunch of things like, follow my Twitch, follow my Twitter, follow my YouTube, follow all this stuff. And one of the things I realized after my first couple giveaways is that, I was getting a lot of follows, in some cases, thousands more. But my viewers were barely moving. My average viewers were barely moving. And I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, clearly a huge amount of these people that are following in these things just don't care about the stream. Like I'm basically just, I'm inflating my numbers purely for inflation. So I ended up after my second time I used, it was Gleam at the time.
Right. And that's another one that's big now.
I stopped using Gleam and I stopped all that stuff. And that was actually around the time I also turned off follows for giveaways. And I kind of made the decision. It's like, I want my numbers to be indicative of people following because they're enjoying the show. I don't want people to ever feel obligated to follow outside of, I want to see this guy again. It was a complete personal decision. And to be honest, to be perfectly blunt about it, if I was a growing channel thinking about getting sponsors and I was still getting up to that point, you could argue that it was detrimental to the channel. However, it's interesting because Gleam is kind of making this resurgence now.
It is, yeah.
Where like Razer,
we were talking about this earlier,
we would like you to run this giveaway on Gleam. And I actually have a Gleam Razer thing right now. But interestingly enough, like going back to that, one of my stipulations on using it is I said, I don't want a gate for following my Twitch channel. Like Twitter, YouTube, Steam, whatever, that's fine. But I don't want a Twitch gate for following my Twitch channel on the giveaway. And they were totally cool with it. They, which was awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't affect their bottom line. So yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So it all comes down to what you want your number to really be. If you have, and again, this is by no means, I'm not trying to say that people that don't use this stuff are at all on a different level or better than anyone else, because that's purely not the point. It just has to come down to, how much do you care about inflating that number? More importantly, how do you care about your, do you want to put your effort in that kind of stuff or increasing that concurrent viewer number? It all comes down to how your perspective on your metrics,
right?
Essentially. Which is going to vary for every single caster.
Right. It depends on how you're playing the game. Like where like you said, where you're interested in exceeding and what that is to you.
One thing that I got to say was a very concerning thing for me is the way having a Gleam giveaway open would make me feel about streaming. Because when you look at your Social Blade,
right,
and you're getting, these massive inflations of numbers like every day, and you're not doing the work to get those numbers, I personally have seen streamers, like, I've been personally told, like, hey, I'd stream today, but I don't have to because I have a Gleam giveaway going.
Yeah, that's
like,
kind of.
It's like that's not because like at that point. You like it makes sometimes some casters will feel like they're hitting their metrics, so they don't, maybe they're not just feeling 100% today, so they'll do something else.
Right.
And it's kind of like, that can be very dangerous as more of these systems come out and become more and more mainstream.
To give an example of that spike, I was watching a certain streamer this morning. I don't know why we're saying a certain. I was watching Josh this morning, right? He's one of the. He uses Gleam.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing a Overwatch giveaway. Was using Gleam, and I never before that I'd never really seen Gleam before. I think Jericho did it once with a Razor giveaway actually, and I was kind of like, this is a weird site. Like I don't understand this. And I would go to the site. I went to his Gleam. And you can add, like you were saying, you can add all your different social media stuff here, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Twitch, you can add a subscriber to get more votes per day. It's stuff that Josh was doing. And I was like, well, like how much does this actually benefit? Like what is this actually doing for him as a streamer rather besides kind of supporting this giveaway and making this giveaway a little bit easier? I clicked on his tweet. He had 7,000 retweets on it, which is like people with millions of followers on Twitter don't get 6,000 or 7,000 retweets.
You remember Arcade?
Yeah.
Where the founder packs would allow you into alpha?
Yeah.
Dude, at the time I had less than 20,000 followers on Twitter. And I would do those. All you'd have to do is retweet the tweet, and I would use online Twitter bots. I gained 7,000 Twitter followers in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
that was another one of those things where by the end of it, I was like, this is like, you look at the other numbers and it just like can't, this is not sustainable. Like you don't want to,
But at the same, well, go ahead, Zeke.
Just pop in here real quick.
Go ahead.
It's a matter of like almost everything we've discussed that has like kind of a moral line to it. As far as giveaways go and like what you're willing to do to grow your channel or what you're willing to do to like get followers, whatever the fuck. You just got to find your line and the person that you like the most. Like I feel comfortable doing spontaneous giveaways in my channel, not advertising them and just doing them whenever, because that way my own like well-being says like, okay, that's fine. You're doing it spontaneously. You're not doing it in order to blah, blah, blah. But is there a problem with other people doing that?
No.
It's like, it's the same thing I've always said. Like, I don't have, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I got no problem with how a guy makes a living. Right. Or how it makes, grows his business or his channel or his fucking, whatever.
And I think that's the important thing to state too. We're not trying to sit here and be like, we're on the fucking moral king mountains.
Built on giveaways.
100%.
Out there that literally are built on giveaways, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's people people admit I tune into this guy. I always keep him on because he's always doing giveaways. I've had someone that watches me say that, and it's like I don't even announce that shit in my title and stuff anymore.
To be honest, have you seen Josh's giveaway system that he has for CS skins? It's fucking brilliant. It is so goddamn cool that he just has a website that by watching his stream, you can just win CS skins. Every 15 minutes, I think one raffles off.
There you go.
Like, that's so brilliant for a streamer to do that.
It is interesting, though, because there is a line.
In what sense?
And for instance, there was a streamer who was recently banned off Twitch. And one of the things he would do is every time a streamer would sub to his channel, he would roll a wheel. And the person would get like X amount. It was like a
streamer or a viewer?
Streamer. The streamer would roll a wheel for every single sub.
Oh,
and
okay. For every single sub.
Gotcha. Streamer's chat is these walls, literal walls of people with the exact same name, except 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And literally like it would just, it was weird. It was weird. And it was very odd. And, he was recently banned off Twitch, or banned. I don't know if it's permanent, to be honest.
We never really know. Yeah, Twitch doesn't disclose. They don't even say that they banned people. So,
but interestingly enough, like it's clear that kind of stuff is watched. Yeah. Like there is a line somewhere, even if it's not a public line, and if you step over that line, something may happen. So it's a real thing that people should be concerned about and be cognitive about.
Right.
so it's an interesting thing to talk about. That's for sure.
Yeah. On the other side of things, besides Gleam and all that stuff, Elohim was doing and I actually didn't go to the link, so I don't know what the service was. But for his Overwatch giveaway stream, he was flat out just giving away $1,000 to a viewer.
Just straight up money.
Straight up PayPaling $1,000 to a viewer, which is it's interesting to me. Like,
what are you gonna do though? Like,
no, I'm not even saying that's wrong. I'm just kind of like,
it's a 100% legal avenue to buy inflated numbers.
Yeah, yeah, and they know that 100%. It's not like they're not aware that that's what's going to happen.
There's zero barrier to entry. It doesn't cost you any money. You don't have to do any of it.
Right.
You don't need to use a single one of the gates. You can just click a button and you'll be signed up. You can do the gates and get more entries, but you don't have to. You could 2 clicks and you're entered. So, I mean, it's again, 100% legit as far as at least my local state laws are. I'm sure he's.
It changes from time. I mean, historically, Tally, a person that was, of course, struck by the law. There was a point. What?
Well, that you're talking about the stuff when he was taken off
Twitch? A long time ago. Yeah. When that happened,
that had a barrier to entry though.
Oh, that was the sub giveaways. Yeah.
No. It was a money raffle.
Okay.
Buy an entry. That was the issue.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that. I thought it was just giveaway to subs.
So yeah, I'm sure the state lottery of whatever state that they're in is going like,
that was California. California's like, you're fucking no.
That's bullshit.
Do not
you
do
cannot
this.
do that. We own that shit.
So why don't we all just move to Vegas then and just do giveaways?
Because you need to have a gambling license, and we'd never.
Let's get a gambling license.
We would never get them. You have to have an establishment. You have to have a business.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, I've looked into it.
No, it's like what was that? It's the boiler room where it starts off, and that kid has a college, like his dorm room is all just like gambling tables.
Yeah.
It's like what it feels like, it's like pay the money, get the entry, and you just spin the wheel, and then you lost.
Yep.
Yeah, and just be perfectly clear, the stuff with Tally was a long time.
That was
ago.
like 4 years ago. Yeah.
All the details.
Oh yeah.
All the only thing I know is after that, like everyone was shouting, like, "Do not do money barrier to entry. Like, do not do this." Like
he was definitely the example. Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons. For instance, for me, I haven't done a sub giveaway on my channel for almost a year now, and I am avoiding that like the plague.
Yeah, I haven't done a sub giveaway.
No giveaway on my channel requires barrier for entry. Even my big one that I do every month, none of them.
Yeah,
I do. However, do that sometimes.
A sub giveaway.
If I have multiple copies of something, like a game. If I have multiple copies, like 6 copies of a game, I lay it all out. I say this hour it's going to be open to the public. Next hour it's going to be sub only. This next hour is open to the public, and it just alternates like that. And as far as I know, as far as the TOS goes, you can do sub giveaways.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, just to be clear, legally in the United States, it is 100% illegal. Just to be clear, if you have, this is North Carolina, if you have a monetary barrier for entry, if it requires any amount of U.S. currency to enter a raffle or giveaway, that is considered gambling. Even if it's a single penny.
I know that is correct. I think there's in the toss. I think it's okay, but I think it is like check your local laws. I think is your local state laws.
Twitch offloads it all. In fact, after that incident,
rightfully so.
Their terms of service. Oh, absolutely.
Because they like why
100% on the it's on the content creator.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets even grayer, because it's arguable that because the money is going to Twitch, that it's not on the person. So that's where the gray area comes.
Oh, because 250 of it or
Twitch
whatever.
Is the one actually accepting the money, and then they delegate the money. So it's not actually the broadcaster that's accepting that sub thing.
That's true.
So it's like, and then all of a sudden sub giveaways are fine because it's the broadcaster's stuff and it's his content. So it's kind of like,
it is a little dicey.
For instance, could be 100% in the clear. I mean, who's going to say anything about it? So, and just for the record, like for people that are saying, "Oh, Cohh is shitting on streamers," I did sub giveaways for years. Like we all did. Everyone
this is
still
minor
does.
shit too.
It's
this
a
is
thing.
like,
So it's not like, I mean, right now, almost all big streams on Twitch are still doing sub giveaways. It's not like the culture is going to change, So
right,
what's going to happen?
I think one of the other things that to go into, again, another splinter of that conversation is the idea that sponsors look at followers and that's pretty much it. There's no other number for them to look at public facing wise to see a potential stream that they want to sponsor. So what is the answer for?
They can see channel views too, I guess.
They can. If they're good about it, yeah, they could track a channel view from stream to stream by looking at the number next to it and then seeing adding blah blah blah, mathing it, and seeing like how much he got or a certain streamer gets on X amount of streams, et cetera, et cetera. But besides that, there's nothing. So like, I guess the question I'm asking is there a place for Twitch to show this statistic, or what is this statistic that they can show? Or is it even Twitch's place to do that? Does Twitch care at that point? Because they're not going to get any money from this. So why should they even give that to a streamer or give that to a sponsor? Why we have the analytics behind the scenes, right? So is that on? I'm asking like a billion questions to try and spark a conversation.
Can you pare this down into like one or two?
I mean, we can go wherever we want with it. Like, what is the proper steps, or what should Twitch have any effect on this, or is it 100% on the streamer? We'll go with that.
The big, I mean, here's a big issue. Now, of course, from an advertisement perspective, they're thinking impressions,
right?
Just like a website. I want to know if I pay X dollars, how many people is this going to reach in a meaningful way? But then you start saying, okay, well, what's a meaningful way? The stream, them seeing their favorite streamer mention it, or them seeing that the streamer supports it, or them seeing a tweet on Twitter. Like that's when it becomes, again, a lot more gray. But one thing that's really another thing to consider is like average views is the big thing. End of the day, how many viewers are in your channel that are actively seeing you promote the product is a big deal. Not necessarily how many followers, because if you get 100,000 followers and then stop streaming for half a year and come back, even though you have a 500,000 followers, it's you're not going to have the impressions of someone who's streaming
daily
twice a week kind of thing. Daily, exactly.
Even weekly at that point, but yeah.
But then one would reason, well, okay, well in that case, average concurrent viewers, right? But then that brings up this whole other thing. Like take my channel, for instance. I stream for 4 hours in the morning. I take a 2-hour break, and then I come back for an afternoon stream. My sweet spot's always the morning. I always get more viewers in the morning than the afternoon. If it'd be much better for me for concurrent viewers to just not take a lunch or do giant blocks every day, but I don't want to do that. So it's like, am I completely shooting myself in the foot by doing that? Let's say I want to stream a game that's not as popular on Twitch, but I have a lot more fun playing it. Is that me making a bad business decision? Like it brings in all this stuff to streaming that kind of goes against what streaming is in the heart and soul. It professionalizes streaming.
Right.
It turns it into the job that you're trying to always get better. So this comes back to the streamer thing. Every streamer has their own medium of business and pleasure, and many streamers are kind of extreme on either side. But really, these days, the advertisers don't even know what they want. Like it's like I'm with OP Group, and I can't tell you how many times that when we are looking for a sponsor, we have to explain what Twitch is to them. We have to explain why it's worth money. We have to tell them.
And it's not even that. In most cases for me, when a sponsor approaches, they ask, what is it that people get when they sponsor a stream? Like what is an overlay image? How does that work? Does it pop? Like what is an info button? Is that sellable? Like there's different things now that streamers have that are sellable items. Most prominently being, an overlay image or a logo pop up somewhere on the stream, or a somewhere on the info button, or a vocal call out is another one as well. And a lot of times you'll have to explain that to them, and they a lot of times will have to. I like the little mustache, the little soul patch he's got going on.
Oh yeah, you like his little goatee?
It's a good soul patch.
This is Letho the Stream Slayer, as he likes to unplug my stream while I'm streaming most of the day.
There you go.
Now go away.
I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry. You got kitten bomb, bro.
I did. I did.
Goddamn cats.
Basically, what I was saying, I forgot exactly what I was saying, but basically they have to learn what's going on Twitch, which, again, the question I ask is, and I guess this is just what I keep circling back to, is there any point in this chain where Twitch should have tools available to a broadcaster to support them in this way?
Honestly, what I'd really love to see from Twitch is a resource that I can point potential sponsors to that explains exactly what Twitch is.
Right, a help article.
Different facets are, what being put in a title means, what being put on the screen means, what being talked about means, what being a profile image means. right now, what we basically have to do is like, I have different packages for my channel. Like, okay, do you want to be on the screen? Do you want to be in my sponsor box? Do you want me to shout you out? Do you want to be in my profile? Like, there's all these different things, but every one of those is like you're educating them on how to spend their money.
They're all basically
and a lot. The more professional, the bigger the company, the less that's going to be effective. Because you're that's going to get shot up the chain, and they won't explain the same things, and it's a mess. So, what I'd really love to see from Twitch is seeing them standardize this kind of stuff. So again, we aren't the ones that are selling the product of Twitch as an advertising medium. We can focus on selling ourselves and our brand and what we do instead of having to sell Twitch as a whole.
I would think that Twitch internally, the sales team would have some sort of pre-made thing that when someone approaches them,
and they probably do,
that they just send them that. But obviously, I don't think they would ever make that public because that's not a trade secret, but that's Twitch's thing. It's on them.
Well, for instance, it would be cool if we had if there's a very public email that was like, hey, interested in working with Twitch and you're an advertiser or company, talk to us and we'll let you know what everything Twitch has to offer. And then you can go find your favorite streamer and do that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it all comes back to how much Twitch really wants to kind of show their hand on that kind of stuff, because the competition is a huge deal, especially between other forms of medium, because advertisers only have so much money to spend, and they get to choose, do I want to spend this on Twitch? Do I want to spend this on web advertising? Do I want to spend this on in-game advertising and other products? So yeah, I'm sure there's things that I'm not even thinking of that are on the very top of their list on reasons they're not doing this.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think advertisers are, it's just growing pains. It's like some dude at, I don't know, name a fucking company, goes to he's in the ad department. He's like, hey boss, there's this Twitch thing that's becoming real big. We'd like to throw some money at it. And the boss like, throw some money at it. See what happens. And as soon as it starts actually generating, cash flow for them, they'll recognize it, because the boss is like, yeah, let's go ahead, see what happens, report to me. And if it starts going well, then they'll start because you don't really relay bad news, you relay good news up, to your higher ups. So once it starts actually making money for them, I think we'll see them take a more vested interest, and it'll be a more I don't know, in-depth conversation, because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but I don't get asked for sponsor streams a lot. But when I do, it's like, hey, do you want to do this many hours for this much money? Okay. What do they want? They don't know. Just play a game and put that on your screen.
Yep.
Okay. That's it. They're like, yep. And then you get done. And you're waiting for them to say hey, good job. Or, hey, that sucked. We're not going to use you. A lot of times I get nothing.
We rarely get feedback. Most of the record, are through Twitch.
While we're sitting here talking about this, twitchadvertising.tv. Thank you, chat, for that. There's an entire website that has quotes from USA Today, Forbes, VentureBeat, a video on bringing brands, game publishers, and viewers together with a strategic solution. This is exactly what we're talking about. Is that
owned by Twitch?
Twitchadvertising.tv. Yep, this is what I've been wanting to show to people that are interested in sponsoring us. This is perfect. And there's even a contact us button at the bottom.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, damn, Twitch is way ahead of me. No surprise there.
Zeke, I think you brought on a perfect point too.
We just crashed the site.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. You mentioned that it's a lot of times, it's someone at a company, going to a boss, etc. The cool thing that's happened kind of with Twitch is that it's blown up so quick, but it's also blown up alongside esports. And esports is an industry that seeks out these sponsors for the past, or has sought out these sponsors for the past 5 or 6 years, right? So if anything, the buffer, they're as knowledgeable as they are today, which in some cases not at all, but it's as big as it is today that people are actually know what Twitch is because of that. And I've never actually thought about that before, because for the longest time, all of the money when it comes from advertising and sponsored deals was in esports. And it didn't really happen to broadcasters that just played games, right? It only has really been a thing in the past 2 to maybe 2.5 years. Like I'm trying to think when I did the first sponsored stream. I think it was sometime like a year and a half ago or something like that. So it's still like such a new thing that no one really knows kind of what's going on. I've never even thought about that before. Because to us, it's like, oh yeah, of course it's this, you fucking moron, because we fucking live and breathe this every day, right? Like this is our life. And a lot of people in the chat, they understand Twitch because they're here every day watching a streamer, or maybe even understanding a little bit more because they watch people like us try to say that we understand things. But I've never like actually thought about that before. It's a little eye-opening. A lot of people just don't fucking know what Twitch does. Like, why would you watch someone streaming a game and not just play it yourself? So,
right,
something to think about.
Well, I'm like, sometimes I even go back to the guys and I'm like, hey, how was that? And they're like, how was what? Your thing? Well, apparently it was okay. No one complained. I was like, well,
dude, I don't.
Okay.
I honestly, unless they're endemic sponsors, I don't think a lot of those people watch the stuff.
Well, sure, but like you can ask anybody I've done like any like hosting gigs with. Like you can ask like CohhCarnage, DJ Wheat, Soma, Anna, like anybody. Like I've done like PAX gigs with, and I'm always come back like, was that all right? How's that? Because I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing until someone says like that was okay, you know, pat me on the head,
right?
Give me a little biscuit and put me on my way.
Right.
But like I always I thrive on that. Like, was that good? What can I improve? You know, that kind of shit. So I go back to the advertisers like, was that good? Well, no one said it was awful, so
yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times,
Right.
Zeke, a lot of times what I'll do to try to like spark that type of conversation is after a big stream, if there was some sort of sponsored related thing or if it was a direct sponsor, I'll just email the people directly with like statistics about the stream from my end. And because I'm doing that, I'll be like, if you guys have any feedback, I would love to have that so we can continue to do this more, blah, 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 blah. And that'll actually spark a conversation rather than just like, seemed good. I'm going to continue on with my job now. Thanks. Like sometimes they'll actually like respond back. So I don't know if that's something you've ever explored, but it might net you a response.
You guys are so good. I just always go to them and I say, where's my money?
That too. That's usually, that's like right at the end, bolded and underlined it and italicized for sure. For sure.
No, you should see, like, if you ever get a chance to meet Ko in person, away from Twitch and away from any like other streamers and stuff. Like I've had some one-on-one time with him, and he's a scary motherfucker.
It's true.
He's like the fucking Don.
Yeah, you know the
like,
reason.
Imagine how he is with fucking like people who owe him money.
I specifically asked you not to talk about this in public.
I'm sorry.
Look, the reason he wears a beanie everywhere is so he can gag the person so they can't scream. All right, now the truth is out there. So there you go.
Shit.
Y'all are killing my stride tonight, y'all.
We're sorry. We're sorry, sir. We apologize, sir. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We'll talk after the show.
At this point, I'm kind of just rambling on the idea. I've been thinking a lot about just streaming in general because it was like a super eye-opening. Well, I hit that like next thing where chat becomes just like this abomination. A lot of times when you hit the number one spot and you get a little bunch of new viewers to the chat, you just get like the ridiculousness that can sometimes spew from chat. I actually had to go full sub mode last night, and I was just kind of like, that was like the first time I ever dealt with that, and I don't think my mods were kind of prepared for that. It's a whole thing that you got to prep for, and a lot of times, like if you are a bigger streamer or even a medium-sized streamer, and you'll raid someone that's really small, like 20 viewers or something like that, you'll see the same thing happen to them that happened to me last night. And I actually might start doing that more so I can see how they deal with it and see if I can steal something that's good that they do. Because I did that the other day. I raided someone and he started to play badly. And I could tell that it was affecting him in a bad way because he got upset, not at the fact that there were so many people, but because he was playing poorly with that many people watching. And that was kind of what I was doing last night too, because they were just like constantly just barraging me, and I'm like, guys, I'm not that bad. Like I'm just playing a game, and I've been asleep for 12 hours, and there's like 12 hours. Oh my god, you've been awake for 12 hours. That's incredible. I'm like, fuck. Let's sub mode it real quick.
I had the same experience when I chose to play a game. Well, I chose to play Uncharted, and I had some front page time, and all kinds of new people were coming in, and I was dead set against using guns.
Yeah.
So I just threw my fist, and people would come in and just berate me like, "What the fuck is this guy's problem? He's not using any guns."
Yeah. Yep.
And they were terrible. They were awful. Just saying awful things to me, and I even called my mother.
Yeah. It was definitely a learning process, though. Go ahead.
There was a period of time when, at the end of every stream I did, I would find, like, my goal was under 50. I would only raid streamers that had under 50 viewers. And this is back when I was hitting like my first 2, 3, 4, 5,000 streams. And I did that for about a month. And I really the first few were kind of fun. My third or fourth one was actually very jarring because the guy actually ended his stream.
Yep.
Because he was so overwhelmed by what happened. My fifth or sixth one had someone started crying. And not like sort of good, but not all good. Because at the time I later learned he was like having some pretty serious life conversations with the 20 some odd people he had in his chat. And like we bombed him in the middle of this and with 2,500 people. And basically like it got to the point where at the end of that month I said, you know what, like this is hurting more than it's helping. Like it's fun to do every now and then, but I really got to the point where I was like, this is almost more for my entertainment than like these guys don't know how to handle this amount of viewers. They don't know how to they're not to the point where they know they don't have the mod team for it. They don't have the channel set up for it. They don't it's great that sometimes they get a lot of follows, but that doesn't always happen.
Right. Like
sometimes you can raid a channel and it's totally chaotic and it's horrible and they only get like 50 follows from it. And it's kind of like, was that really worth it?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I wish I really would. And this is actually something I suggested in the past. I wish that smaller streamers had some kind of like checkbox or something they could do to show that they were willing to take a raid from a larger streamer.
That'd be cool.
Ready for it. Like I would love to see something like that. It got to the point towards the end of my raids that I would check with them before. Like I could only raid people I knew because I would contact them out of other media and I'd be like, hey, can I raid you tonight? Like, are you cool? Is this a good time? Like, and that's one of the reasons, like people ask me all the time, why don't you raid someone at the end of every stream? Like, why don't you do that? I'm like, that's why I made a stream team, man. Like I wanted to make sure that like the coalition originally started as smaller streamers that were ready to accept my raid.
And also, I would actually use that checkbox like 15 minutes before my cast was done. Yeah. So I would uncheck it. So it was like, I'm almost done. So I would uncheck the raid box.
Exactly.
To let people know, like, I'm almost done. So don't raid me now because we're just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would totally do that because that happens to me all the time. Because a lot of people end like on the hours.
Yeah.
Like
imagine if you're a partnered caster, even if you're not a partner caster, if you could look on your follow list and there's just a little flag next to people's names that are like, hey, raid me. And it was green if they want to be raided or gray if they've unchecked the box. And that could just be a little checkbox on other partners on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because that's happened to me a myriad of times where it's like, shit, I was just about to get done, guys. I'm sorry. I got a thing to do. I apologize. You feel like apologizing. Like, I appreciate the raid. I really, really do.
I've done that to a music stream, and the guy had just been playing for like way too long at this point. And I rated him, and it was like 6 or 7 times his normal viewership. And he was so fucking tired, but he's like, I guess I'm just going to keep playing for a couple hours now that we have like so much viewers, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of felt a little bad at that point. Yeah. Because he's just playing, he's exhausted. He's been fucking going all day, but he's pushing ahead to, play the game. He's playing the Twitch game. So it's an interesting thing. I feel like hosting's started out as something that was like really cool and a lot of streamers are doing it. And now kind of for the reasons that Ko just said, like a lot of people have stopped rating other channels.
Oh, also think if Twitch had a suggested raid feature.
Yeah.
So they could have every week their Twitch partner spotlight people could be on a suggested raid list.
That'd be awesome.
Like I'm ending my stream and I'm like, hey, who could I raid? And I get a list of 3 new broadcasters that have been Twitch approved that I could just raid with my community. Like, that'd be awesome.
That'd be really good.
Like to encourage the interconnects between ending streams and starting streams
Right.
is a place that Twitch hasn't really explored yet. And I would love to see some movement there
Right.
because that's how a lot of these smaller, like, dude, what I tell people all the time, one of my first big raids ever was from a random mod in a larger channel suggesting my channel to that mod, and that streamer going, yeah, okay, cool. I'll sure, we'll raid this guy. And the first huge raid I ever had, the biggest numbers I ever had at the time, were from Summit 1G.
Nice.
He was the first
that,
big
yeah.
raid my channel ever got.
Remember
And I remember that night going, like, dude, this amazing. Like, I need to talk to every big streamer out there. They need to raid me every night. Like, this is things that like every growing broadcaster that's really dumping time into streaming is thinking. So to make
I never
like
thought about that. I never thought about like maybe greasing the palms of some big streamers.
Oh no, that was the first thing.
Maybe emailing them, be like, "Hey, maybe if I scratch your back, you scratch mine."
I remember
got me $1,500 to raid him every month.
Yeah,
or every day for a month.
Really? That's awesome,
dude. I remember when hosting first came out. I think Tally was the one.
Oh god,
yeah. When hosting first came out, like Tally was like, "This is going to be something that people want to buy." Like, and to be honest, it's honestly like a WoW mentality. Because I just said, to be honest, it's honestly. Anyways, it's like a WoW mentality because people would buy, arena raiding back in the day, or they would buy like a dungeon grind or like a raid grind to be in the raid. It's that exact mentality. Like, yeah, I'll buy a host from someone with a shit ton of viewers.
Well, it's funny that you say that because one of it immediately after the hosting stuff started, like the partnership things, they'll straight up deny someone who gets a lot of hosts.
Really?
Like, even oh yeah, like in fact Elo's brother Ben, great streamer, quality dude, fun to watch, but so many people were hosting him that Twitch was like, I think they denied him twice or maybe and even maybe I don't know, but it was ridiculous. They straight up told him like, you're being hosted too much and we can't confirm them. And it's kind of like, well, shit. Like, there goes the idea of buying hosts. Like, no one got partnership from being hosted or buying hosts because if they're looking for that, which they clearly are. There you go.
Yeah. Jeez. Interesting. It's an ever-changing medium that this is with, giveaways, followers, host, all that shit, which is always fun to talk about.
Want you buy host/raid? Pissed me.
There you go. Pissed him.
Pissed me.
And for those wondering about Ben, I will get you a link in chat in like 2 seconds.
Oh, Elo's brother?
Yeah, it's Ben the Wonder Boy.
There you go.
But it's got like underscores and stuff. I'll link it in chat for you guys.
Yeah. By the way, I was watching Elo do his. This is completely off topic. I was watching Elo do his charity stream for GTA. It's good stuff. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, it's pretty funny. He's doing a passive. He talked about it on the stream. I think he was on here in the past talking about his pacifist run. It's GTA 5 pacifist run. Just. You should go watch it.
Pacifist run.
Pacifist run, yes. That's true.
It was for the
quotes.
kids, so he took some liberties.
Yeah.
Elo always does fun charity streams, man. In Elo's like second month, maybe even first month of streaming, dude, he did a charity stream where he had a glorious beard at the time.
Yeah.
And he sectioned off his beard into squares. And you could donate to own a square of his beard. And you could cut it, you could dye it, you could bleach it. And like people were doing all sorts of like, the fact that was one of his first charity streams still blows my mind because that's something you'd see from a big streamer today and be like, this is brilliant. And it's like, he did that in like his first or second month.
That's pretty smart.
Crazy.
It's pretty good stuff.
Raised a bunch of money too. Way more than his channel size would have normally. Like it was great.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's take a break. We still got to talk about what the fuck everyone's been playing. Total Warhammer being one of them. I know me and Cohh have been playing a lot of that. The Wild Hunt has some reviews that are hitting. It seems like it's pretty good right now. Do what? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Wild Hunt - Blood and Wine. Yes, you're right. Wild Hunt's the name of the game.
It's like a 9-word title.
Yeah. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt.
The story of Geralt, the Wild
Hunt - Blood and Wine. Final expansion.
Introduction to Toussaint.
Exactly. It's getting good reviews, so we'll talk to Cohh about that a little bit. And then we'll see what Zeke's been up on Indie Sunday, which is always fun. I didn't give you a game this week to play, did you? Did you do? You did a charity Sunday.
I didn't. No, I did Caramel Sunday.
Caramel Sunday.
If you want.
All right, yeah, we'll talk about that when we come back.
I played Fallout 1 for the first time.
Cohh will want to hear about that. See, I knew his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree right away.
He's gonna hate it, but I still want to hear it.
All right, let's take our break. We'll come back, talk about all the games and more. We'll be right back right after this break. We'll see you guys then.